Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we have some emergency news to talk about. I have some sneak peeks here for the fall winter collection for Chanel. We have lots of photos, lots of new promo photos and swatches as well. And we're going to just have a look, have an examination here. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. So the first photos that I have here are from a Meet Beauty Talk. All of the accounts that we're talking about today are listed down below. Please go have a look there. Amit was able to source these promo photos for the Chanel Fall Winter collection here, and I have more information. This one here is called the Clairvoyance collection. So it's a little bit spooky themed, which makes sense for fall winter. The title, the collection is called Clairvoyance. It has a lot of tarot. You'll see some of the embellishment are like tarot cards, things like that. It's all about a little bit of sorcery, witchcraft, and I have to say, just off the bat, looking at the promo photos, I actually like those promo photos. I like the deep, rich purple in the background. I like it. It gives me a sort of 70s witchy vibe. Looking at the promo photo, I hear Dark Lady from Cher playing in the background. I'm thinking Stevie Nicks, that 70s witchy vibe. That's what I think of when I see this release here. And there will be two limited edition blushes, one called Lavender and one called Blood Orange. So if we look at these specifically, this is where you see that tarot deck design. You can see it here in both of them. So they're both called a blush. One looks much more like a highlighter than a blush here. I'm wondering if they'll come with a little brush applicator. I'm also curious if that tarot deck, the fanned deck of cards, if that embellishment goes all the way to the bottom of the pan or if it's just an overlay, because I have been spoiled recently with Sicily blushes and those go all the way to the bottom of the pan. So if this is just an overspray, seems a bit lazy. I'm just saying, there are very fancy brands out there. Obviously it says number 5 for the iconic number 5 from Chanel. So those are the two blushes for the collection, and both of those are marked as limited edition. Of course, everything is limited edition. And then we have the two eyeshadow quads, 392 Initiation and 394 Division. I honestly think that they're trolling us here with this name, Division. So we have more photos of these two now infamous palettes here. What's interesting is that I do not see it saying limited edition for the eyeshadows. So it could be, but I would be surprised if these are permanent. I mean, I would be relieved. I would love to just see new, regular, permanent items. Not everything has to be like a crazy fervor, like it's a Black Friday sale at an outlet mall, but I don't know. It says limited edition for the blushes specifically, not so much for the other items. So keep that in mind. And these are all matte. These two quads are matte. Looking at these photos here, that purple and green is giving a little bit of Mardi Gras. It's giving me a little bit of voodoo. It's giving New Orleans, that sort of mystical, spiritual aspect to it. It makes me think of The Princess and the Frog and the villain, what was his name? Dr. Facilier, something like that. That's what it reminds me of. So I don't know, I'm imagining that's what they're going for with a tarot type of thing. That's just the vibe, the inspiration that I'm getting. I honestly find that the dark purples in the background in the promo photo are a little bit nicer. You know, I think it's possible to do purple for fall. Of course, we see purple in the foliage in nature. The purples here appear to be quite fair. We do have swatches in a moment, but I'm just saying. There will also be this new Rouge Allure mascara here. The name of this one is Amethyst. This one appears to be much darker, much deeper. I bought the lighter lilac one from the spring. A bit of a dud, I will be perfectly honest. This one here just looks like a classic deep amethyst purple mascara. Perfect. I love a colorful look, obviously. I love colorful purple makeup looks, and I think a deep purple mascara makes sense for this look here. I do like this mascara format, so this would be nice. I feel like brands are doing more maroon, dark reddish brown, a lot of blue, which I like, and also dark green. Purple right now isn't as popular, so I'm happy to see this in a mascara. I think that's great. There will be 15 new liquid lipsticks. These are called the Matte Velvet Lip Shades. I don't know if these are the Rouge Allure Ink, the Ink Fusion, or if it's an entire new liquid lipstick. This tube here I've seen before for Chanel. I used to work for the brand. I should have specified this before at the beginning, but I used to work for them. I don't work for them anymore. It's been almost a decade now. But this bullet liquid lipstick here, this is not new. I mean, maybe it is new, but we've seen this before. So I'm really curious if this is a new formulation altogether, or if they're just simply adding 15 new colors. And these, I would be absolutely shocked if they were limited edition. That would be absolute lunacy, because it's just a lot to come out with for one shot. So I'm 99.9% certain that these are permanent here. And I love the shade selection. I love that there's a bit of everything. We have the beautiful nudes, like a bit of nude for everyone. We have also some very dark, mysterious plum colors. We have some reds, a little bit of pink. There is everything. I hope that these are comfortable. I will definitely try at least one of these, especially if they're permanent. If I buy one and I like the formula, that will just, open the floodgates for me. My favorite formula was the Ink Fusion. You had to give it a good shake because there was an oil inside, and the oil helped keep the lips really hydrated, which was really lovely. I think this is a wee for me. I think this looks very promising, very nice. I think there's a lot of potential here, lots of potential. We are also seeing two new lip liners, 198 beige orange and then 202 beige camel, like a camel, all right. Both of these are very orange. I don't know specifically why purple and orange are so, I mean, I guess it is very Halloween-y if they're going really on the nose for fall winter. These two, I think it'll depend. It'll depend on skin tone and all that. I don't know. I mean, I like their lip liners. They're great. These two colors, I'm really not sure, because I'm still not certain what to make of this whole release here. We're going to keep going. And then we have these two nail polishes. Now, one is spiritual and one is phenomenon. These ones I think look very promising. I think that deep, rich, caramelly, camel, warm brown, I think that's going to fly off the shelf, because it's a basic but nude but great. And then that green, that reminds me of Peter Phillips. That gives me those gorgeous nail colors that Peter Phillips would come out with, that were deep and rich and mysterious with a shift, and he made so many gorgeous colors like this. That's what this reminds me of. I think that one is very promising. I think that one looks it just looks really great, in my opinion. Those were the promo photos, giving that witchy, mysterious vibe. Now we actually have some real life photos and real life swatches. So keep that enthusiasm and see how long it keeps you going. Moving over to BT Kicom, they have photos here of the entire collection, everything that we just talked about, every product here, they have swatched. So here we go. First off are the two blushes. We have the orange and then that lavender. Now, the swatch here looks very fair. It could be, sometimes people who swatch, they don't always dig in the same way that I would if I had the product myself, so we'll keep that in mind, but this looks pretty matte. This looks like a velvet matte. It doesn't seem to have any iridescence, any highlighter, anything like that. So we see the blush close up with a swatch here. Same thing with the lavender. This one is called a blush. Is the blush in the room with us today? Blink twice. So, oof. Personally, off the bat, just seeing these two, the first two products, that's a pretty big non merci for me. The first orange one, I just don't think is for me. And this one here, this would be a highlighter for me, but I don't think I love that. I think the packaging looks really nice. I like the fanned cards. I think that's all the positive I have to say. I don't know, it's just not for me. C'est pas pour moi, it's not for me. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now we have the meat and potatoes, the two matte eyeshadows. Now, when people saw the first promo photos on Trend Mood, people were roasting them. Ding dong, Avon is calling. How dare Chanel come out with matte eyeshadow? It's like, you know, it was comparable to if the Hindenburg had transported the Ebola virus and exploded. It was the worst thing to happen to all of humanity. I would like to point out that Chanel has done matte eyeshadows many times before. Some of their more beloved eyeshadow palettes are all matte, all four matte, and are very easy to wear and very beautiful. So this isn't new that they're doing matte eyeshadows. People are acting like they've never seen this before. It's never happened before. It's the worst thing to ever happen. It's happened before. Now, is this going to be a good quality matte? I don't know yet. Personally, I think that the palette Candeur et Experience is one of my personal favorites, and that one is all matte and it's great quality. Will these be great quality? I don't know. So at least the person who swatched this really put their back into it and really swatched everything. The first color looks very creamy. There's no streaking. It's really just like a great swatch. Towards the bottom, it looks a little bit patchy. So this one here, this palette $392, that one is a non merci for me. The peaches, I don't know. It's just not for me. But this one here, I think, is the more user-friendly, no-brainer type of palette. Maybe. I mean, I would have to swatch this in person, maybe do an application in store just to see. But just seeing this, I'm not like, wow, this is the most beautiful thing ever. I'm like, $394 Division. Right off the bat, my first initial thought is that third yellow color is really ugly. That's just my opinion. I don't know why this is coming out for fall. This should be a spring palette. If you want to do this for fall, do deep, rich plums. So you can see with the second purple color, that one looks richer and deeper. Great. Keep going with that one. Dig with that. You know, maybe get rid of the green and the mustard. Do like one or two rich browns. Get rid of the lilac. Like you could do a deep matte purple palette. It's not that crazy. These shades might be though. This gives me Mardi Gras. We're going back to Louisiana with the Mardi Gras and everything. Looking at this, looking at the eyeshadows, all I can think of is this is exactly what they did literally a couple weeks ago with those eyeshadow sticks, you know, the summer collection. And then right before that, they did another release. It was the single eyeshadows that they redid. They're great eyeshadows, but a lot of the focus was on the purple and the green. So it just seems like this is the color story for 2024. And what I find fascinating is so many people are commenting and messaging me being like, oh my goodness, what's happened to Chanel? They're just doing the same color story over and over and over again. Yeah, I have been telling you this for years. Chanel, up until recently, was doing red eyeshadow for every single season. Every occasion, a dark, warm red eyeshadow every single season. For, I think, 6 or 8 years. A solid 6 years. Every season, no, without fail, you could just guess and be correct every time. We have the never-ending parade of red eyeshadows. Now they're doing purple and green, and people are losing their minds. This is not new. They've been doing this for years. I have been telling you this for years. They do the same thing over and over and over and over again. It just seems as though all of a sudden people have realized this, or maybe they're not as enthused about this color story, so somehow it's offensive. But I personally found it offensive beforehand anyway. This is just, I mean, it's the same story, just a different color. So yeah, and then a viewer commented that someone told them that this palette is made to go with the eyeshadow sticks. So you're supposed to buy the eyeshadow sticks and then buy this. That's a big no merci for me. I have more than enough in my collection, and even if you don't, you should be able to purchase a product standalone. It's a bit like when a brand comes out with a new foundation and they tell you, oh, you must use this brush. No, use what you have at home. That's fine. So all of that to say, it is possible to come out with a nice matte quad. Is this nice? I don't know. That yellow, like, it's giving bruise. You know when you get a bruise and you see like the entire evolution of like the blue, the purple, the green, the yellow? I want this to work. I do. I'm not just roasting it. I do want this to work. I just don't know how. I need to see this in person. I need to see how creamy these are. These had better be spectacular. You know, it's one thing to give us a funky color palette. It's another thing to give us a bad texture. These had better be amazing. They had better make all of us eat crow. Otherwise, they just look, oof, I don't know. I need to see this in person. I need to play with the textures. I need to see what it looks like on me, on my face, because I am quite concerned about these shades. I keep putting my hand up to sort of block the bottom two, because you can do purple for fall. I don't think that this is it. Here we have a swatch of something that actually looks decent. We have a amethyst mascara. Nothing reinvented here, but I do think that color looks lovely. I think they should go back to the drawing board and base this collection off of that shade and inspiration. I think that looks like a nice swatch. So these are the two orange lip liners. They both look very similar. I really don't know why only 2 lip liners if you're coming out with 15 lipsticks. But there are a lot of pre-existing lip liners available, like all the colors should be there, so maybe that's why, I'm guessing. I just find that quite interesting, and maybe they're going for like pumpkin spice, everything nice for fall winter. And now here we have photos of the nail polishes. Again, I think that these two will fly off the shelves. The first one just looks really gorgeous, just like an everyday brown for fall. Gorgeous, rich, warm brown, and then that green, that shift. Oof, yes, I think those will fly off the shelf. You know, sometimes with like a holiday meal, all the sides are more interesting, like the mac and cheese, the stuffing, the gravy. I think the sides are more interesting to me personally than the meat and potatoes. I have more photos here over at Weijie Beauty, and they have more swatches of both of the palettes. I would say that the $3.94 looks even worse here. The top one looks reasonable, but I don't know if we're really adding anything new to the conversation here. I wanted to show you the lipsticks because Weijie Beauty has the liquid lipsticks. So here we just have all of them swatched side by side. And as you can see, there is that super dark purple. For some people, that is going to look astonishing, like spectacular, so pretty. And with some of these, you could also do like an ombre effect, like a darker one on the contour and then a lighter one on the inside. There's a lot to play with here. Now it says that there are 15 new lip colors, but only 14 here. So I don't know what happened to the last one, but this is a swatch here. I think that the lighting was turned up a bit because there seems to be a bit of a flash. There appear to be a lot of reds here. I feel like the first photo we saw, there were more nudes. Anyway, this is just like a precursor. Some of these you do have to sort of swatch in person, and there will be more swatches in the near future to provide for you. I just wanted to give you these as like a good basis. So yeah, that's that. Only all of that information for you to digest and ruminate and hopefully not get too much heartburn and indigestion. Please let me know what you think down below in the comments. I cannot wait to hear from you. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I do a lot of reviews. I do a lot of these Will I Buy It's, talking about new releases. I know a lot about Chanel. I used to work for them, like I stated, but I don't work for them anymore, but I have a lot of insider information. So if you're not subscribed, you're going to miss out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this impromptu upload. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will go ahead and see you next week. We'll see if there's any more earth-shattering beauty news to share with you. More than likely, I'll give you an update when I do. And I will also see when I can get swatches. So all of this should be coming out by the end of August. All of this. It's been 2 weeks, guys. It's time for 17 new beauty releases from Chanel only. So once I can go to a store and get swatches for myself, I'll go ahead and share that. Make sure you're subscribed and make sure your notification bell is set to on. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.